Hi folks, we're going to take a look at this question on medians of triangles. So let's recall that the median of a triangle starts from one of the vertices. In this case here we're going to take vertex A, and it goes to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay, so I'm going to draw myself a diagram, and I'm not even going to bother with axes because I want the diagram just to be a guide for me. Okay, so let's say here I've got point A, which is -2, 4. Okay, and then point B is -4, 3. So I know it's going to be further to the left along the x's and further down. So here we'll put point B -4, -3, and then we have point C 8, 3. So further to the right and not quite as high as that point. Okay, so I'll just draw it here. Again, I don't make too much of an effort to be accurate, as I'm just going to use it as a guide. Okay, and here we have our triangle formed by these three vertices. Okay, and what I'm looking for is the median from point A. So the median is going to be from this vertex to the midpoint. Okay, so we'll call this the midpoint of BC. And this is what I'm looking for. So in the first case, what I'm looking for is the length of this median. Okay, and then the next thing I'm looking for is the equation of the line that this lies on. So if I think of this line, this segment is continuing in either direction, we can see that it lies on a line. Okay, so let's start with the first part, which is to determine the length of this median. So in order to determine the distance between 2 points, well, I need the second point. And the second point here is just given by the midpoint of B and C. So we're going to start by finding the midpoint of BC. Okay, and the midpoint is found by calculating the average of the x values and the average of the y values. Okay, so remember the y value, the average is adding and then dividing by 2. So I'm going to take 8 plus -4, so add up the x values and divide by 2, and then I'm going to add the y values, 3 plus -3, and divide that by 2. Okay, and let's calculate that. So this becomes 8 minus 4, so 4 over 2 is 2. And here 3 plus -3, that's 3 minus 3 is 0 over 2. Well, it's just 0. Okay, so this midpoint here is 2, 0. All right, now that I have the endpoints of the line segment I'm looking for, well, I can just find the length of the median. Okay, so the length of the median that I'm looking for is just going to be given by the distance formula. Okay, so square root of the difference of the two x values. Okay, so here it's going to be 2 minus -2 all squared. Okay, plus the difference of the y values squared. So it's going to be 0 minus 4 all squared. 0 minus 4 all squared. Okay, so let's simplify this here. So we have 2 plus 2 is 4, so we have 4 squared plus, and this is just going to be -4 squared. And I don't need my calculator here, I can do this in my head because this is 16 plus 16, so it's going to be the square root of 32. Okay, now since they don't tell us what each unit on this Cartesian plane represents, whether it's centimeters, meters, kilometers, I'm just going to say it's root 32 units long. Okay, so there's the length of the median. So step 1 was to find the midpoint of the opposite side, and once I had that midpoint, I can just use the distance formula to find the length of that line segment. All right, so let's go to the second part of the question, which is to determine the equation of this line. Well, now what I have is 2 points that lie on the line, and that's enough information to find the equation of a line. So in order to find the equation of a line, I need a slope and a point. So first, let's calculate the slope of the line that I'm looking for. So the slope of the median. Okay, and let's recall how we determine a slope. It's the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. So I start with the difference in the y's. Okay, so I'll do 4 minus 0. Now this is where we have to be careful. Here, the order didn't actually matter that I followed. I kept the same order with both the x's and the y's. It doesn't really matter because I'm squaring these numbers, meaning that even if I get a negative number, it, like I got here, it just gets squared. So that I do 0 minus 4, 4 minus 0, didn't make a difference because I was squaring. Here, I'm not squaring. So it's very important that I keep the same order. If I started with point A in the numerator, remember that I have to start with point a in the denominator. So 4 minus 0, and then I have negative 2 minus the x value there is 2. And so what do we have? We have 4 over, this is going to be negative 4, so the slope is negative 1. All right. Now I have a slope, and in fact I have 2 points. I only need one of them now to actually find the equation. So I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. That's our basic formula for a line. And now I'm going to input the x and y values and the slope, and I can calculate the b value. So let's use this point. Looks a little easier than that one there. So when y is 0, we have a slope of negative 1. We have the x value of 2 plus b, so we have 0 equals negative 2 plus b, and so b is just equal to positive 2. Okay, and so now I can give my final answer. My final answer is that the line is given by y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, and there we have it. So again, to find the equation of the line, now that I had the 2 points, I could use them to find the slope. And then from there, I take this slope and one of these 2 points to find the equation of the line. Okay, that's it for this one.